Greetings, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. Today is July 8th, and, well, that's 4 straight on the road now. At least they scored some runs in this one. Pirates dropped the series opener to the Royals 9-3, just 4 hits in this game. They scored 3 runs, at least, I guess. They were also 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. If you want to take something away from the game that can be somewhat positive, 9-3, there's not a lot of things to go right in this scenario. Brian Reynolds finally got a hit in July. That sounds positive, but it's really not, right? Tommy Pham hit a home run, hopefully raising his trade value up a little bit. Andrew Heaney was bad again, lowering his value. Heaney goes 3 innings, 76 pitches in 3 innings. 6 hits, 4 runs, just 1 walk. But 2 strikeouts, and it was the first 2 batters that he faced in the game. Starts it off with 2 strikeouts, and then all downhill from there. Gives up a home run to Pasquatch, Vinny Pasquantino. Left on left damage. Who's going to send anything your way for a guy like Andrew Heaney right now? Started off very good. Loved what he did for really a large portion of the beginning of this season, and now I don't know what to say. I mean, this has been quite a run for Andrew Heaney now. Looking at the game logs now, we're saying June now. It's just April was a 2.61 ERA. May was a 4.74. June was a 5.57. And so far in July, which was just this start, is a 12. The end of April, he had a 2.50 ERA. A 2.50. And in May, he gave up, out of his 5 starts, a crooked number in 3 of them. And the other 2, he only went 5 innings. In June, he had back-to-back 7-run outings. His last outing in St. Louis was good. You would like to lean into something like that. 6 2/3, just 3 hits, no runs, all that. That was obviously in the series where we shut out the Cardinals. And now here we go again. 3 innings, 4 runs, 76 pitches. It's just not there. I don't know how your trade value is up at all. The Pirates can't hold on to a guy like this either. That's the thing. It's not like they can hold on to a guy like this and hope that maybe he turns some things around or something. Like, that's not in the cards either. You've got to move on from him. But now I can't imagine what you're going to get in return for someone that's pitching the way that he is, inconsistent, because we did have the good start in there, but they're few and far between at this point in the season. He really should have been traded in early June before it really blew up on him. He was still in the mid-30s. I mean, after his June 7th outing of only just 1 run in 6 innings, he had a 3.24 ERA. And then it ballooned from there all the way up to where it is now at 4.41. And it's... I don't know. I mean, he's not untradeable, right? There's something there. Guys know that there's something there. Teams are going to understand what he is and understand that he's going to still give them an opportunity to, if you're a contending team and you need arms, this is still a guy that you can get on a rental and you can get him for cheap and he could get you through some times that maybe your prospect that's not ready isn't going to do, something like that. There's something, but they just know that it's on the cheap. They just know that it's not going to take much. And the whole reason you sign a guy like this on a 1-year deal is to be able to flip him and hopefully continue to get the quantity that of prospects and whatever that you need to continue to move this. But what are you continuing to doing if you don't get there to begin with? Chase Sugar had a tough outing as well. 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 runs himself. Cabrera came in after that, threw 2 innings, gave up a solo shot. Bednar got the final out with a strikeout. Just seemed like, please stop the bleeding. The Royals had 15 home runs all season at home. They'd never hit multiple homers in a game at home. Pirates gave up 4 home runs in this game. 4 home runs to a team with those types of numbers. All around bad game, if you ask me. All around bad. The Pirates are now 12-33 on the road this season. That's 1 game off of the Rockies pace, who are 11-34. The Rockies. The Colorado Rockies, who sit at 21-70 right now. They're equally as bad at home, or actually a little bit worse, 10-36 at home. The Pirates at least have a winning record at home thanks to a 6-game homestand or 6-win homestand that we just watched and got excited about. But we knew that what they were doing was not sustainable. We talked about that. There's talent on this team. I keep telling myself that, but it's not showing up. By far the worst season of Brian Reynolds' career, not counting 2020. Andrew McCutchen, 0 for 4 in this game. They've scored 313 runs so far this season, which is dead last in Major League Baseball. 2 runs less than the White Sox, 6 less than the Guardians. And they've played more games than the White Sox. That's the even worse part about it. We're going to come out of the All-Star break. We're going to be playing the White Sox, who are currently 30-61. And you should be favored at home to beat the White Sox. And yet, they've got a better offense than you. So maybe not. Now, it's not by much, right? The offense is not by much better. And your pitching is going to be hopefully the equalizer because it is good. But still, yeah, when you look at this and you're saying, well, you've got Kansas City who's under 500. You got Minnesota who's under 500. You go to the All-Star break and you start off out of the All-Star break with the White Sox. This is a run that really should have more wins than losses. And you've started this off with a loss in game 1, 9-3. That doesn't mean it's over. Obviously, they can still win this series. It's not like the series is over already. It's not like they can't do that. But the offense is just continuing to struggle. No Horwitz in the lineup, the lefty pitching, so no Horwitz. No Oneil Cruz in the lineup last night. It probably doesn't make a difference in the outcome at all, but it's notable. It's notable. That's enough about this game in particular. I want to talk about Oneil Cruz today. In general, he wasn't in the game last night. He should be back in the lineup tonight. This is a guy that we just talked about on Sunday. We want him to be featured in the Home Run Derby this year. But is it the right year? And we've made a case that, he could be exciting and he could do certain things and being in the Home Run Derby would be great. But I wanted to take a chance to really even point out, do you think getting some spotlight on him, getting some attention might actually build momentum in a player like this? Because I think it would. And I think this is why the Home Run Derby to me seems like something I really want him to do, because I feel like if he could go out there and have the roar of the crowd, the excitement, the attention, if he can put on some sort of show and have people paying attention, then I think that that could be good for a guy like Oneil Cruz to be palling around. I mean, you don't have to be an all-star to be in the home run derby anymore, to be palling around with some all-stars, to be sitting around all the guys who made the all-star team and to have conversations with them. How many guys are going to talk to him and encourage him to continue to work harder? Like, these are the things that he's not an all-star. He's there, not an all-star. And he wants to be one. They all do. Seeing the consistency that it takes to get to that point, what those guys are doing, how they go about their business to get to where they are, to be all-stars for this year. And some guys, perennial all-stars, right? And get an opportunity to talk to them. We've seen that he has the respect from them, right? They want him to be good. And everyone knows that he can. All the tools are there. What does it take to get that consistency? What does it take to avoid the long slumps? And those guys that are playing right now and at the All-Star game are the guys with some of those answers. I think it could be incredibly good for Oneil Cruz to be in a situation like that. But what about more than the home run derby, right? I mean, we watch this guy play. We know how good he is. We know that, I don't know what the number is, 7 times out of 10, the guy does sprint down the line to first base, right? We've talked about that on this show before. We looked up the numbers, or we looked up the videos. He's running to first base, but then there's one video. There's one play. And maybe there's a series of them. I'm not calling out just one ever in his career, but what I'm saying is you'll see him run, and then all of a sudden there'll be the play where he doesn't. I thought there was already 2 outs. You got to know how many outs there are. So I don't care if it's a hustle problem or a knowing how many outs there are problem. Like, either way, like, we've got to figure that out, right? It's so frustrating. And then you see, you browse YouTube, type in Oneil Cruz. Look at outsiders who are talking about the tools. Everybody recognizes the tools, but talks about how the play can be so bad and uninspiring. The offense is bad right now. I just keep watching that show, or that show. I keep watching that throw from Sunday. That throw was incredible. The more you watch it, the more you're amazed by it. And I'm going to say I know we're talking Oneil Cruz right now, but even on the Henry Davis side of it, it wasn't even hit to center field. It was left center. He's cross body. He threw a perfect strike to home. These are the kind of things that he can do, but right now the offense is just so bad. And you're always waiting, even when it's bad, you're just always waiting for that big home run, that whatever it is that might get him going. The guy can equally frustrate you and amaze you in the same night even. And as a Pirates fan, you sit there finding yourself not knowing whether you should defend him because of the potential and the fact that you're a fan of the Pirates in general, or be mad because it's not complete. This guy was signed in 2015 by the Dodgers. That's 10 years in a major league organization. Granted, not playing in minor league baseball, but in the Dominican leagues prior to 18 years old. At 18 years old, 2017, he makes his appearance in rookie ball with the Dodgers. I can't remember the actual, I think it was rookie ball with the Dodgers. Then he gets traded and wherever he's at, right? but his first year stateside, gets traded to the Pirates for Tony Watson. At 19 years old, played in low A West Virginia at the time. The next year, Bradenton, which was at that time, it was high A. And then Altoona at 20. 20 years old, he's moving up to Altoona. He had 1 home run in 35 games there. Lost the 2020 season, obviously, COVID, all that stuff. 2021, he's in Altoona for 63 games. The first year outside of that, 63 games. He goes to Indianapolis for just 6 games. Their season ends, and he gets called up for 2 games in 2021. At 22 years old, the last 2 games of the season. He had 5 home runs in 6 games in Indianapolis. I remember that. And I remember saying, like, oh my gosh, this dude is ready. Let's get him here. And now we all know. In 22, he played for Indy for a little bit, 50-some games, 87 games in Pittsburgh. He had 17 home runs that year, 9 in Indy, 17 home runs that year with the Pirates. It looked like we had a superstar. Everybody's excited. We saw the sprint speed. We saw the arm speed. At this time, he was playing shortstop. We saw the power with 17 home runs in just 87 games. Everything looked to be clicking, and we thought, all right, it's time. 9 games into 2023, breaks his leg, loses the whole season. He's kind of grown into his power. If you look at the numbers through the minor leagues, there's still some question of what they were talking about. He played 460 games in the minors to hit 58 home runs. So far in the majors, only 324 games. And he already has 55 home runs. So even when we're saying like, yeah, but it's not been like the 21 homers and the 17 homers, and then now this year he has 15 home runs, and they add up. How many guys do you see with power numbers in the minor leagues? They come to the major leagues and the power actually increases. The number of home runs actually increase from what it was before. That just doesn't happen that often. And all the while breaking StatCast numbers and leaving us in awe of what he can do if he could just put it all together. And yes, there's a lot of guys that are going to say, I don't care about exit velocity. Well, here's the reason why we care about exit velocity. Because when you hit the ball harder, you got a better batting average. You got a better chance of that batting average being higher. The harder you hit, the better the batting average. Those are in the numbers. That's just facts. So yes, it does matter. But also it's fun. You watch this sport to be a fan. And this guy has the things that jump off the chart that are exciting and that are fun. But it's not consistent. It comes with the strikeouts. It comes with the errors. It comes with a lot of uncertainty. Is this a guy you want to extend? At times, I think, yeah, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. Other times, you're not sure. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I don't know if I want to put a bunch of money into that. I don't know. I've heard people say, I don't want another Polanco. I mean, Polanco was a great talent too. This guy's contract could be different. A lot more, maybe. What if it fails? That's a risk. The problem with not taking a risk is this dude could win an MVP one year, maybe win the World Series with whoever he's playing with. Right? If he wins the MVP, do you complete your contract and say, all right, whatever we paid him is worth it? Now he won an MVP. He led this team to the postseason, possibly, whatever it is. Or will it be another one who got away because he did it when he was playing for another team? 15 home runs this year. Depending on how many games you think he'll play, he's close to 30 homer pace. Maybe not there. Was he going to get to 30 homers? Do you need him to get to 30 homers? These are questions that the Pirates front office right now is constantly asking. Because 1 week or 1 month or whatever it is, you think, we can't afford an extension to this guy. And then the next month, it's like, we could probably get him on a deal, but I don't even know if I want to commit to him. I see the struggle and the frustration with whether or not to get to this place with him. And if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, comment below. Tell me whether or not you would entertain at this point. if you would entertain a Cruz extension this offseason and what it would take this season for you to consider it or not consider it. If you're on the fence and maybe say, if he gets to 30, yeah, we got to do it. Or if he gets close to 30, we got to do it. We understand what he can do. If it's a slump the rest of this year, it's too great of a risk. Sure. Whatever it is you're kind of thinking. But also maybe, could this home run derby be something that's really good? And if you're listening to audio, just to say this too, if you're listening on audio, thank you. But if you want to jump into this conversation and head over to the YouTube page, make sure you subscribe when you do this. Leave a comment on there. I'm not saying you have to watch YouTube all the time. You stick to what you like, obviously. Listen on audio. That's great. But if you just want to jump into the conversation on this one, pop over on YouTube, put your comment down in there and tell me how crazy I am. Maybe I'll talk about it in a couple days, what was said here. Maybe Oneil Cruz will do something, positive or negative, that will cause us to revisit maybe some of the comments on this. But let's do that. We also need subscribers over on the YouTube side. So if you haven't and you're listening to this on audio, like I said, I'm not telling you have to go listen. I don't care what format you listen, but if it's nothing to you, it's free to subscribe on there, and it's just a number. That'd be great. I appreciate that. Anyway, I really like Oneil Cruz. I really want to see this guy blow up. I think getting him to the home run derby and surrounded by those players and talking to those players and all that stuff might just be what he needs. I'm really eager to see if that's something that happens. Anyway, Mitch Keller goes tonight. We need a stopper. Most of all, we need the offense to get to Seth Lugo, who will be throwing for the Royals tonight. He's having another good season, another good pitcher that we're going to be facing. Shut down their offense. Like I said, I said on Sunday's show, maybe the first team to 3 might win the game. The Royals were first to 3, but the Pirates did get 3 and lost by a lot. So maybe it's going to take more than that. Maybe not. If Mitch Keller can shut them down, maybe the Bucs can get a win and take it to the rubber game and on Wednesday and try to get a win then as well. But either way, let's play some music. Let's get out of here. I appreciate you guys listening. As always, there'll be another one tomorrow. Let's go Bucs.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2 Buctober. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.